Hello everyone. In the last class, we have studied manufacturing of bricks and types of bricks. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to see concrete blocks. So coming to the introduction about concrete blocks. So block is a building material used for construct the buildings. Okay, so it is a construction material, and blocks are used for building the wall and for the decorative purposes or for the roofing also, not only for the wall, for the compound wall, for non-bearing walls. For those structures we can use the concrete blocks, and by using blocks works can be done easily and it save money and time. Okay, because concrete blocks are larger in size compared to the bricks, so work will be speed and it is economical and time saving also. Next, coming to the history of blocks, means after the Stone Age, people attract to use clay to build their houses, because earlier days houses are constructed by using the clay. Okay, so then they used wooden mold to make clay blocks. So clay, after using the clay, they started doing the clay mold. Okay, by using the wooden mold, they started clay blocks. Then nowadays blocks are using means it may be a blocks which is manufactured by clay also, cement also, or concrete also. Different types of blocks are available. Also in present, people use different type and size and color of blocks to decorate walls and floors. Okay. Next, coming to the types of blocks. So these are the few types of blocks. So types of blocks, in that first one laterite blocks, next one is the soil, third one stabilized, and last one is the cement or concrete blocks. So laterite blocks, this is the example of laterite blocks. So this kind of blocks will be available at the Konkan region, okay, at the coastal areas. So here the laterite are soil type rich in iron and aluminium, and all laterites are reddish or brown because of iron oxide. It is in a reddish or brown color. Why? Because iron oxides are present in that the soil, and this kind of soil usually we will see at the coastal region. Okay. Next one is there is no standard size for a cabuk or laterite blocks, but the blocks usually cut for 90 inches walls. Okay, so whatever the wall thickness is there, according to that wall thickness blocks are going to be cut. So if I speak about the disadvantage, it's provide an easy access to the termites. Yes, because it's porous, means gap will be, the surface structure is not in a uniform way. Okay, so it contains some porous. Okay, so in that porous it may be a give the location or origin to the termites. Next one, soil block or earth block. So soil block or earth block will be made by hand and using wooden mold, and process of preparing soil blocks. So first they will prepare the soil, okay, then preparing the blocks mold. After that they will prepare the mold according to their required size. They will prepare the wooden mold. Then those whatever the soil they prepared, those soil will be placed in that the mold and used to build the walls. Okay, advantage, one person can carry out the entire process. So manpower required to manufacture the soil block is less compared to the other blocks. Okay, then next one is the soil stabilized blocks. So here soil is used, but stabilized material like cement or fly ash. Okay, so this kind of materials they will use in that the soil. Okay, to made up primarily from a damp soil compressed at a high pressure to form a block. Okay, if the blocks are stabilized with a chemical binder such as Portland cement, they called a compressed stabilized earth blocks or stabilized earth block. Next one, process of preparing of this stabilized soil blocks, the fairly dry inorganic subsoil. That soil will be take, because at the top level of the surface of the earth there may be a contamination of some debris in that the soil. So all those things should be removed before we prepare the soil mold. Okay, then they will add the cement in that and they will prepare the mold and they will compress it for a required size and shape. okay, and non-expansive clay. Expansive clay. Non-expansive clay means usually clay will be means if it is wet, it will expand in their volume. If it is dry, it will shrink easily. Okay, this is the main properties of the clay. So non-expansive clay they are going to use here. Now aggregate and small amount of cement. So cement is the stabilized material here. Next, in the cement block can be classified according to their physical characteristic. Means this is the types of cement concrete blocks: hollow blocks, cellular block, solid blocks, and special blocks. So we will see one by one. Hollow blocks. So volume of cavities may vary 25% to the 50%, used for load bearing walls, and nominal length 390 mm and height is 190 mm. Okay, so this is the 390 mm will be the length and height is 190 mm. This is the size of hollow blocks, and volume of cavities means whatever the openings are provided here, volume of cavities will be 25 to 50% of overall area of that particular block. Means these blocks are light in weight. And cellular blocks, volume of cavity which should not pass through the block between 25% to the 50%. This is a highly thermally insulating concrete based material used for both internal and external construction. So this will be the same as a hollow blocks, but that whatever the portion we are giving, that is the cavities we are providing, that should not be exceeds 25 to 50%. Okay, in that only we have to consider. So, and it is thermally good, thermal insulation, we will call it as thermally it is good. Okay, and we can use for the internal also and external wall also. Okay, next coming to the solid blocks. So certain blocks have non-standard block heights. Minimum volume of solid material is 75%. Okay, so whatever the solid material we are going to use here, it doesn't contains any hole. Okay, and density of these material, these blocks are high compared to the hollow and cellular blocks, and total solid material in these blocks are 75% by volume. Next, the block meant special blocks. The block meant for special applications such as corner joints. Okay, so listen, by seeing this shape only we can say that this block will be utilized at the corner. Okay, this is the L shape blocks. So specially blocks are manufactured to use at a special conditions. So such kind of blocks we call it as a special blocks. Then next one, cement blocks manufactured in Sri Lanka are almost entirely of the hollow type. Means this is the overall view about the cement concrete blocks, and according to application requirement of blocks, it should be classified as follows: means load bearing and non-load bearing. So application where we are going to using it. So for the load bearing wall also and non-load bearing wall also. So I will tell you what is the load bearing wall and what is the non-load bearing wall. Okay, don't worry. So load bearing means whatever the external walls are there, means the load which is coming on slab. So the load from slab, it will take directly, means it will give directly to the wall. There is no beam or no column. So wall which is taking directly load from slab, so those walls we are going to call it as a load bearing walls. If we are providing beam or column and load which is coming from the slab, so that load will be distributed through the beam and column, so it doesn't go over the walls. So such kind of walls we will call it as a partition or non-load bearing walls. So coming to the manufacturing process of cement concrete blocks, so preparing raw material. So raw material for preparation, what will we need? So cement, aggregates. Okay, so aggregate, it may be fine aggregate and coarse aggregate. Coarse aggregate means we will call it as a gravel, and fine aggregate it is a sand. Okay, so mixing of this proportion in a correct way, cement, aggregate we are going to mix in proper way, then we will add the water. First here we are going to mix the dry, then we will add the water, then adjusting the proper consistency of mix, means we need some proper consistency. Okay, so consistency is nothing but adding the water. Okay, for workability, to check the workability, all those things purpose we need these things. Then placing into a mold, we will place this mixture in the mold, then compacting, ramming, means if extra any voids are presented in that mold, we have to remove that one. Okay, otherwise honeycombing will be appear. Then after once we cast it here, then we will keep it for a 24 hours hardening. Then after that we will do the curing. So this is the last step in curing or concrete blocks. So measures to be taken while ensuring the manufacturing quality of cement blocks. The correct grading of sand. Yes, sand we are going to select a correct grading and correct proportioning. So 1:2:4 if we are using, 1 is the cement, 2 is the sand or fine aggregate, and 4 is the coarse aggregate or gravel. So this correct proportion we have to choose initially. Then avoid the usage of finer fraction. Then storage of cement. Thorough mixing, proper curing, means mixing, curing, placing of cement should be taken care here. Next one, this is the common difference between the solid concrete blocks and AAC blocks. It means autoclave aerated cement blocks. Auto aerated cement blocks means these blocks are contains cavity or opening inside them. Okay, so if we speak raw material required for solid blocks are Portland cement, water, sand, gravel, and here cement, sand, lime, gypsum, aluminum powder, water or fly ash and aeration agent. Okay, so these are the raw materials required for the AAC blocks. Then color light gray, here it is a gray, and weight it is more, and this is the light weight. And these are the sizes of the solid concrete blocks, and this is the sizes of the autoclave, auto aerated clay blocks. Okay, next here variation in size. So this is they have given if while doing the blocks, if sizes are means volume length is less, so that less in length should be considered as 5 plus or minus mm. If it is plus or minus 5, so it will be considered as it doesn't have any more effect on sizes. Okay, so in the same way for this one it's a 15 plus or minus. Then plastering can be easily done. Sometimes plaster does not stick properly because of the smooth surface. Okay, so because here we are going to using raw material as a fly ash, so fly ash will be generally fine grained. Okay, so it creates the smooth surface. So for the smooth surface it is difficulty to do the plastering. Okay, then density, dry density, it is 1800 to 2500 kg per meter cube. It is 451 to 1000 kg per meter cube. Compared to the solid concrete blocks, AAC blocks are less in density. Next one, compressive strength 4 to 5 Newton per mm square for the solid concrete blocks, and for the auto aerated clay blocks it is 2 to 7%. Next, thermal conductivity. Here heat transfer is more and here heat transfer is less. And labor output, here labor required is less, here for the manufacturing of AAC labor requirement is more. Then water usage during the manufacturing process. So in the manufacturing process of solid concrete blocks, water is required high compared to the AAC block. Then storage, availability of storage hence difficult, but here we can store easily. Then not green product, or it doesn't have any chemical gases or anything, it doesn't give any harmful to the weather. Okay, so not green product, it gives the toxic material, reduce industrial waste. Okay, this is all about the cement concrete blocks. Thank you.